All right, welcome back to the Run.down post-game show here on the Strickland YouTube channel, Strickland Twitter, and if you're listening to this the day after Strickland Podcast Network, I am Sam. I am joined by Tyrese. This show is brought to you by FanDuel. The Knicks win 123-114 on their second game of this Western Conference road trip. It's been a rough week for the Knicks. I think they ended up finishing the week 2-2, I want to say.
Yeah, the end of the first.
Yes, just as we kind of predicted, because it has been, as you see under my name, the dog days of the NBA. A lot of teams are going through a little bit of a rough patch. The Knicks are not excluded from that. We'll talk about all the games that happened, of course, this week. But Josh Hart came back today, and that was a welcome sight and a welcome addition to a team that needed some energy and needed some jolt of whatever Josh Hart brings. His connectivity, his passing, his increase in pace, all that good stuff was definitely needed for this Knicks team, who kind of looked out physicaled in that game against the Phoenix Suns on Friday. But this was a very welcome sight for this team. And we'll talk about some of the decisions made in this game. But yeah, let's talk about Josh Hart. I mean, he had 18 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, and a block. Just doing it all. Classic Josh Hart stat line. Rebounds weren't all the way there, but I assume as he gets his legs under him, those will follow shortly after. But yeah, this was a really good game for him. He started off the game scoring 8 of the Knicks' first 13 points. And his energy was you could feel it through the screen, and you could feel how much of a difference it made for this team. And yeah, no, he's definitely what I think this team was missing over this stretch. They went 3-5 in the 8 games that he was not playing. So for all the criticisms that all of us do have as fans of Josh Hart, and some decisions that he can make, some decisions that the coaching staff can make in terms of playing him, whether it's been this year or years past, he is definitely important to this Knicks team.
Yeah, for sure. I thought he gave them good energy to start. I thought the Knicks probably looked the best they've looked to transition in weeks. And I think Josh Hart was a big proponent of that. I think they kind of just missed his energy. They missed his spirit. And as soon as he started playing, like, you saw them take off a little bit of early lead. Of course, they had to fight for it. But I thought Josh Hart played very good basketball for a team that desperately needed to play some good basketball. I thought he gave them good energy in moments where it seemed like they were lacking a little bit, and even when the game got a little bit out of hand towards the fourth quarter, where the Blazers were able to cut the 10-point lead and take the lead back, it was nice to kind of have Josh Hart's energy there to make the Knicks get a little bit of extra push to get to the end of the game. So yeah, I thought Josh Hart was a pretty big catalyst for this team. I thought the 3 threes he hit to begin the game were pretty huge as well. I thought he was willing to take threes, which was nice to see. He definitely looked a little bit gassed towards the end, but it was also good to see him, again, just be able to play basketball, be able to play effectively, and still be able to give the team quality minutes, even when he's still trying to find his pacing.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, he played 30 minutes tonight, or 31 minutes. He closed the game in an interesting lineup that I don't think we've seen much of this year. Mike Brown ended the game with Jalen Brunson, Bridges, OG, Josh Hart, and Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson played 25 minutes tonight, and he was very much needed against Donovan Clingan in the paint, who is 7'3" center, and was making his presence known. But Mitch Robinson, of course, was very impactful, grabbing 11 boards, had 3 steals and 3 blocks tonight. Very active, very good game from Mitch off the bench. And it was very interesting to see Mike Brown go to this different lineup that I don't think we have seen much of, and I'm sure folks on the timeline will pull up, some minutes or whatever it may be for this lineup. But I thought that was very interesting and very encouraging to see. Mike Brown still trying pieces here and there. So, yeah.
Yeah, I thought he played really good for the Knicks. Again, 3 steals, 3 blocks, gave them a whole bunch of rebounds as well. 6 offensive rebounds, 2 assists as well. I thought he actually moved the ball pretty well. He had this nice dunk on a cut where he essentially made the screen and then like just cut hard to the basket and was able to get the ball underneath the rim, which is really nice to see from him. The last couple of games, he's been playing around 25 minutes now, so I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of extended his minutes out a little bit just to see how he'll react to it. And I think so far, so good. So I think this might be the fourth game in a row he's played around like 25 minutes, which is good to see. I think, again, he played really strong basketball for this team. I thought his ability to contest shots against Klingon was pretty important. I thought he kind of neutralized Klingon in a way that, excuse me, sorry about that. He neutralized Klingon defensively in a way that I think not a lot of centers have been able to do this season. Klingon was a minus 23 in his minutes, which is really good. I thought Mistress is super impactful, and I think when he has games like this, it kind of shows you how important he is to this team because he just did a little bit of everything for the Knicks, and the way that he was able to make the Knicks go on the defensive end was really important to the Knicks being able to secure this victory.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, him and Josh Hart, that tandem of those two really provide the Knicks such an advantage on the glass. And even defensively, I mean, if you just look between those two players defensively, that was like 9 stocks between those two alone. So yeah, they definitely mean a lot to this Knicks team. OG Anunoby played a really good fourth quarter of this game as well. Had 24 points total, hit some huge threes. His defense cannot be understated in this game as well. He only had 1 steal, but I feel like it doesn't really tell the whole story of his defense tonight. He got called for some bullshit fouls on Denny, of course, because Denny has the best whistle in the whole NBA, and that's literally not even exaggerating. But I thought OG Anunoby did a good job of not really letting that deter him in terms of like being physical. And yeah, those threes in the fourth quarter were huge. And yeah, no, I think that he's been starting to bounce back a little bit. And that's been encouraging to see because we know that he was in a shooting slump for a good portion of those games after the NBA Cup.
Yeah, for sure. I thought, again, it was good to see him get out of the shooting slump. I thought the defense was still pretty impactful, even though Denny had a solid game. I thought he still played pretty good defense on Denny. I think he limited him. Like Denny had 5 turnovers. Really good to see. I think a lot of those came on OG being able to wall him up. I thought OG just kind of gave him a little bit of everything, especially in that fourth quarter where he hit those threes that were able to really build that lead out. I think it's just good to see OG kind of get back into that groove. I think it's probably the first sustained stretch of like good shooting that he's had since he came back from that hamstring injury, because he really hasn't had it the last couple of weeks. But it was really good to kind of see him have his moment. Again, I thought his rebounding has been really improved. I thought he was able to move the ball well. He only had 1 stock, but it kind of felt like he was more impactful than just the 1 stock. Overall, a good game from him. It's just really good to be able to kind of see him string these games together.
Yeah, no, definitely. The other part of our wing tandem, Mikal Bridges, who had a game winner last time he was here in Portland, had 18, 6, and 6, as well as 4 stocks total. A little bit of a bounce back. Well, not really a bounce back, but I feel like, a little bit better of a game than he did against Phoenix on Friday, and just an overall better game than he's had as of recently. Something about Portland, Mikal Bridges really likes to perform here, I guess. But yeah, no, he was great. He had some timely threes as well. Had a key. What am I remembering? He had some key steals when it felt like Portland was starting to make a little bit of a run as well. So yeah, overall really good game from Mikal. Hopefully he can keep this up because I know consistency has been something that has not been the thing for him during this recent stretch. And, a lot of people have been on him in terms of not being a physical player. And I think we just all have to accept that, unfortunately, Mikal is just not that type of player. And I guess the sooner that folks accept it, the sooner that they can, I guess not really continue to go on about it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like, Mikal is what he is. Like, you're just not going to get this. You're not going to get Brooklyn Mikal consistently. He's going to give you solid effort. Again, he's a rotational wing. Like, is he an above average rotational wing? Yes. And ultimately, it just kind of comes down to he's not going to be this, like, 25 point per game scorer. He's not an all-star. He's just a good, solid wing who does good, solid wing things. And again, like, he had a good game overall, I thought. 18 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, a block. I thought he played really good defense. I don't think he shot the ball particularly well from 3, but I mean, he finished 8 of 15 from the field overall. Didn't take any free throws, but he's not going to take any free throws. Like, I didn't think he played poorly. I didn't think he had a standout game, but I mean, ultimately he affected the box score and he was able to have a solid game for the Knicks. And that's all you kind of want from him, like, just be solid, do a little bit of everything for the Knicks, play good defense, and that's what you want to see.
Yeah, no. Karl-Anthony Towns, 20, 11, and 3, 2 blocks. I thought Cat had a pretty good game, which, has been kind of rare for us to say lately, it feels like. Hit 2 out of his 3 threes that he took. I know shooting the 3 hasn't been his strongest suit this year. I thought that he did a good job of dominating inside this game. Did not finish the game, which was very interesting. I know some folks will probably they'll probably be concerned if he's injured or not, because he did end the first half being injured. I think he's fine. I think Mike Brown just wanted to go with a different look, and I think it worked out perfectly fine for the Knicks. And I think that he had a good game, and the Knicks used him well in those minutes that he did. And then when it was time to go for a different look, the Knicks did something different, and it worked out for them. So I think that people shouldn't look too deeply into this. I know people are going to be like, oh man, we benched our, $60 million center in the fourth quarter of a game. But I mean, it got us the win, and I think Cat is willing to do whatever it takes to win. I know there's also been a lot of hoopla in terms of, Cat's quotes this past week. And, everyone is doing the body language thing that we used to do at Julius with Cat as well, especially after that Clippers game. So, it's been an interesting time in Knicks land as the Knicks, as the Knicks have this contender status, and, comes with the expectations, and the fan base is, of course, has high expectations for this team, and they haven't been performing as such, and everything is under more of a microscope now.
Yep. I think it's just, I think the Cat thing, I mean, he's been good in the season. Like, I'm not going to say that he's had a bad season. It just hasn't been to his standard. And ultimately, does he struggle in some big spots? Yes, but I thought he was really good for this team today. He didn't play the ending of the game, and I wouldn't be surprised if that was due to injury, but also I thought he had a good game prior to him coming out. I thought he kind of stabilized the team in that second quarter. And going into the third to kind of help build that lead. Excuse me. Yeah, like, I think people are just going to look at Cat every game and be like, well, unless you string it together for like 20 games against good teams and you're not having a good season, and blah, 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 blah. And it just comes down to he was good in the playoffs last season. He was good in the regular season last season. He's been solid in the regular season this season. The numbers haven't been pretty, but his impact's been there. And ultimately, as long as his impact's there, I'm not going to talk about like, oh, wow, his true shooting is like 61% of so like 64. I just can't like get too mad at his performance overall. Like, do the numbers look sexy? Absolutely not. But ultimately, I do think that he's been productive for this team, and that's all you can ask for. Pretty much just be productive and be able to help the team play winning basketball. And I think he's done that.
Yeah, no. And I will say, I mean, when he's not out there, you can see it. Like it definitely makes a difference when he's out there, even if he isn't really performing to the highest of standards that most of us have placed upon him, and the highest of standards that he probably expects of himself too. So I mean, his gravity alone provides so much for this team. But yeah, no. I mean, overall for this team though, lately, I mean, while they have been struggling, I will say since the Clippers game, I will say the defense has looked a lot better. The passing has been much better, like way better. Like there's still some moments where they're getting a little stagnant here and there, but I think it's been an overall improvement. And yeah, I mean, I think with Josh Hart coming back, this trend should continue. But yeah, no, it's been an interesting couple weeks here as Knicks fans with these games. We'll talk about the Suns game. We'll talk about the Clippers game. Deuce McBride came in today. Entering this game, he was 9th, I think, in the league in terms of 3-point shooting. Started off the game missing a bunch of threes. Ended the game 2 of 9, but definitely hit some threes when it mattered the most. And, Deuce has just been one of those guys that is a solid mainstay in this rotation and has developed into such a reliable piece. So it's been great to see his growth, and, hoping that he can help us, reach that ultimate goal of a championship. But I mean, not the best game in terms of his numbers, but I mean, like I said before, he hit some timely shots when it mattered the most. And yeah.
Yeah, I thought he played really solid defense. I thought, despite the fact the shots weren't going in, I thought he was able to kind of push the pace. I thought he was able to still play good defense. The shots started going in late, which was really nice to see him get a couple to go in, especially late in the game. He played 35 minutes today as well. It does kind of feel like when he's healthy and he's right, he's going to be a big part of this rotation going forward. Him and Mitch kind of feel like the anchors of the bench, and everybody else kind of rotate in depending on how they're performing. I mean, there's some things we can talk about with the bench, but ultimately, I think Deuce played very good basketball. I thought he was very productive, even though the shot didn't go down. And ultimately, the team was winning his minutes, and the team's been winning his minutes for 2 years now, and with him in this role. So,
yeah. Let's get to some comments, and as we get to some comments, we'll probably address some of the other games that happened this week, of course. That Kev Boy says Hart's motor and connective passing for the win. He also says most sauce we have hooped with since the Spurs game. Honestly, probably. I mean, the Hawks game had some pretty good moments in that game. I mean, they did let go of the
No, it did. There was no good moments in that game. That game was ass from start to finish. I'm still mad that you said the Spurs game, bro.
No, I'm talking about the Hawks. I think he's talking about the Spurs Cup game.
Okay, well, greatest game of my life. Finally got to bring the band to MSG. The rematch was not fun. Not fun.
Yes,
not fun at all.
No thanks to your presence in the building.
All right, bro. You gonna blame me for that shit? I was the reason why Julian Champagny hit 11 threes, bro.
Yeah, really? you're also the reason why Sandro Mamu, whatever his name is. I'm sorry, I don't want to butcher it. You're the reason why he had also 7 threes in a game, and he had the game of his life against the Knicks. You're also the reason why Wemby had 40 and 20. I've never seen Wemby have 40 and 20 ever since that game, by the way. Never. That was like the only game he had 40 and 20. And you were in the building.
How you think I feel, bro?
No one's telling you keep going to these games.
You know how sad it was to get courtside seats. I'm like sitting right next to like Devin Vassell's parents. The Admiral's like 2 rows in front. And I just watched Sandro Mamushvili game us. And then this year, I'm like, yeah, like everybody's finally healthy. Like Brunson is finally healthy. Everybody's good. healthy. Like, we finna put BTA. We was up 17. I'm talking shit. And then they come in and they're like, yeah, you go back to New York. And I'm like, I live here, nigga. Like, again, I'm hurt. I was hurt. I'm still mad about it. I be at work. They making fun of me. I don't want this. But anyway, yes, they did. This is probably the best they looked since that game, just because the energy was there, even though they weren't able to, even though they didn't blow it. This was a very good game from them. I wouldn't even count the Clippers game. The Clippers game was just kind of like they won because they're the better team. But ultimately, yeah, I do think it's probably the best kind of like energy we played with this first game.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, a lot of the games the Knicks have kind of been forced into shootouts. I feel like lately their defense has been better, especially in this game too. Their fourth quarter defense too. And we'll talk about that in the Spurs game and the Clippers game as well. Jalen Brunson tonight, we didn't even talk about him in our opening. He had 26 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 10 of 19 from the field, and was a plus 18. There's been a lot of talk about Jalen Brunson in terms of his defense lately. It's been reaching Trae Young kind of levels of like really all-time bad. I think they have to play straight up with him, first of all. I think tonight he did a pretty good job handling his own. He did pretty good on Denny a couple possessions late in that fourth quarter. And yeah, I think he has to stop doubling and overhelping, especially when he's the person that's one pass away from a three-point shooter. That's what absolutely killed us in that game against the Suns, because he doubled off of Royce O'Neal onto Devin Booker when Cat looked like he was holding his own pretty much. And Devin Booker, he's gonna hit tough twos. Like, you kind of have to live with that. And I'd rather a tough two than like a back breaking three. And that's what Royce O'Neal hit after the Knicks defense collapsed, because Brunson, and I know that's part of like the Knicks scheme, because like I saw I think it was DJ Zulo, he kind of made a clip where he pointed out, he was highlighting how Brunson actually looked to the bench, to the coaches for confirmation to go double. They gave him the okay. He doubled. But I feel like for him doubling, it doesn't do much. He's like 5'11". Like, I don't really see what him doubling off of three-point shooters is really going to do. I feel like they have to approach these situations where they're playing it more straight up and just live with the results. If Devin Booker's going to take a tough two, he's going to take a tough two. If he makes it, shake his hand. Royce O'Neal, wide open three, that's a little bit tougher to recover from. And I know the Knicks had a little bit of more opportunities down the stretch to, tie the game or whatever it may be. But situations like those, I feel like those are what's really hurting the Knicks defense in those situations. And I feel like they have to adjust their game plan in those situations.
Yeah, and I do think that they did play him straight up this game compared to games previously, which I think was very good to see. Ultimately, like, you're just gonna have to live with Brunson's defense. You know what it is. He tries. The charges haven't happened as much this season.
He stopped trying.
I don't think he stopped trying as much as just like.
And they're also probably not going to call them too.
Yeah, and it kind of stinks, but also, you do know that he always has the ability to do that if he needs to. Ultimately, I do feel as if he's giving effort. I'm not going to say that he's not giving effort. He's just going to be limited as a defender, and that's all you're just going to be.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's always been like not the best defender, but like I feel like this year it's been much worse.
Noticeable, yeah. I think
it's much more noticeable because it's like it's a lot of key plays that's happening that he is like the culprit on, I will say. And I feel like if he is, before it was like he wasn't really the person that was at the center of a lot of these key defensive mishaps. It was like Cat was like at the center of a lot of them, and that's why Cat got a lot of scrutiny, especially last year. And I feel like this year it's more Jalen Brunson there. And that's why there's a lot of talk of the Knicks acquiring another point of attack, defender at the deadline or something like that, just to help shore that up in terms of stuff like that. But yeah, no, I feel like if If he can go back to how he was defensively last year, I feel like that's passable for the way the Knicks as a team have been defending this year, especially Cat and his improved defense.
Yep. Yeah, but like I think the team. I think the team as a whole just has their moments defensively, but also the defense this last week has just been fucking atrocious. Like the last 2 weeks, they've just been not good. But it's at least good to see them kind of have their moments this game and be able to pull it out.
Yeah, no, for sure. Jordan Bub says Mike Brown has guts. I'll give him that. Never reinserts Cat sitting at 27 minutes and 20 and 11 on 9 of 13 shooting, just like the Mitch matchup, and now small ball better. He also says that the Knicks are 7-7 after the NBA Cup, but some Knicks fans will swear to you that the core isn't it. The players are soft, untalented, and team needs a LaMelo or Zion for Knicks to win a chip in the long run. Whoever thinks the Knicks need a LaMelo or a Zion need to get checked into a psychiatric ward. Preferably,
also, we need a Jose Alvarado. We don't need a fucking LaMelo. We do not need that fucking gooner on this team, okay? I'm sorry.
Zion in New York City with New York City women, yeah, good luck.
Like, you would have put Zion on a whole lot of Latinas? Does that sound like a good idea? Like, you want this man with the poppy while you know lying to me, hot chip and lie women? Like, no. You want Zion eating halal food from the carts at 2 a.m. in the morning?
Yeah, no, thank you. I'm good.
You want LaMelo around the Eastern Europeans, those kind of baddies with the BBLs that live in Soho.
Yeah. Overall, not a good decision to have Zion in New York.
We need family men in this city, okay?
Let's see what else we got here. OG Anunoby had 14 in the fourth. I didn't even realize it was 14, but it felt like every point that he made in that fourth quarter definitely mattered, especially those threes. Yeah, let me see. This is Josh Hart's first game since Christmas. Wow. Yeah. It has been rough since Christmas. 3-5 since Christmas. That is rough. Jared R. says, glad we won the game. Deuce got all his misses out of the way. Take care of Sacramento and let's battle with the Warriors. May want to start Deuce there to guard Curry.
Yeah, right. I think that'd be pretty impactful. I don't know if they'll do it, but I do think it would be something that they should probably entertain.
Someone sent Mike Brown the tape of Deuce guarding Curry. What was it? Was it last year or no? It was 2 years ago.
It was 2 years ago because that was when after Julius got hurt.
Yeah, that was the Dante starting lineup team with Hartenstein and those guys. Yeah, no, definitely. I would love to see Deuce on Curry and see if he can give him some problems.
Yeah, I think they just need some more point of attack defense, and I think it'd be really helpful to kind of have it with Deuce, but I don't know. If they play him 35 minutes like the way they did tonight, even if he comes off the bench, you're still fine with that.
We also got a report today from Mark Stein that the Knicks are, taking, or at least, I guess taking offers or listening to offers or trying to offer up Yabusele and Pacome Dadie. We've heard the Knicks linked to, of course, Jose Alvarado. There's been, I think, some rumblings of an Ayo Dosunmu. So Knicks clearly looking for someone to be that kind of guard, wing, point of attack type of archetype of player. We'll see if they actually can get it done and if it will happen. Tyrese, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I do think that it's pretty obvious that they're trying to trade Yabusele. DOR kind of just took a spot. Kolek's also taking a spot, really. When Shamet comes back, I don't really think they have an inkling to play much Yabusele, if at all. I thought he's been playing a lot better as of late, but still, he's not really playing well enough to justify really having his rotation money on the books. I don't think he would be in the rotation when this team's fully healthy. I think if he's going to be the 10th man, I probably put DOR in that spot anyway. So yeah, I'm fine with them trading him. I do think that they'll maybe find a suitor. I don't know if they will. But ultimately, like, it's either they can't trade him this offseason and he's still like playable depth, or they can try to trade him again next season and then he's an expiry. So we'll see what happens. Dottier hurts my heart. My young son, my young king can't make it. But ultimately, again, Mo Dior stole his Shane.
Kevin McCullough, who was in the same draft class and is like 3 years older or 4 years older than him.
Also didn't play the first season because he had microfracture surgery. And if you know anything about microfracture surgery, they don't do those anymore.
Yeah.
So the fact that he had microfracture surgery and is coming back and has looked better than you while being like, what, I think 4 years older than you is nuts.
Yes.
What do you need? Like, Kolek is actually like decent. So it's like, you had Landry Shaman coming off of like a separated shoulder and somehow, some way was able to be better than you. But there's just not a lot of reasons why Dottie should be this far behind. But like, if you even look at like his G League performance, is not even there. Like, it's rough. Man, it's rough. And I mean, like, I do think part of the reason why they took him was so that way they'd be second April compliant in 2024. So you ultimately, like, okay, glad he took like $1 million less, but ultimately I wouldn't be surprised if Dottie's fourth-year option is to get picked up and they look to trade him and Yabusele, if not by the trade deadline this season, into the offseason.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I know a lot of Knicks fans are expecting a move as soon as possible just because of the contending window that they see this team in. You know, especially with this year. No Tatum, no Halliburton. The East is very, 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 very weak. And even without Tatum, the Celtics are still third in the East. So it's like, you know, fans and commentators alike are seeing this Knicks team, seeing their flaws, and hoping that they can address them at the trade deadline. We'll see what happens. The Knicks are never really that active at the deadline. I mean, they made a trade last year at the deadline, right? For Sims for Dawn, right? Or whatever it was. And then year before, I don't think they really made any move. The Knicks' big trades usually happen in the offseason. I mean, the only in-season trade that they made that was major was the OG one. But yeah, I mean, we'll see if the Knicks can, you know, acquire an Ayo Dosunmu or a Jose Alvarado, and shore up that defense a little bit more. Let's see what else we got here. No Kolek, no McCullough, barely any Diawara. HB Greg says, I think that Mike Brown has shown that he is definitely more fluid with how things go from a game-to-game basis. I wouldn't really look too deeply into those guys not getting any run today, really. You know, there'll be games where, you know, some of those other rotation players won't have it going, and Mike Brown will look to, you know, some of these other guys to maybe give them like a jolt of energy or whatever it may be. We've seen in the past that he's very willing to, you know, put guys on the bench and, you know, try out random ass lineups and see if they give him something. Notably in that Pelicans game, he tried a fucking lineup of, you know, McCullough, Yabusele, Trey Jemison, Brunson, and Kolek. Like, he'll throw shit at the wall and see if it sticks. So, you know, I wouldn't look too deeply into those guys not getting much run today.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, like game-to-game basis, like sometimes he'll ride other dudes' balls, and sometimes he'll play other dudes less. Yeah, I just wouldn't look too deeply into it. Like, I think
Dibs.
yeah, like there's not a static rotation where every guy is playing the same amount of minutes every game, and if some guys on the bench don't perform, then he just rides the starters for 40 minutes. That's not tips. Like other guys are going to get opportunities to play, and especially when you have the depth that the Knicks have, where like you have a bunch of these young guys who can play, and then you have like Deuce and Mitch who also can play, and then when Shamet comes back, he's also an option. There's a lot of guys that want to get burned. There's a lot of guys that want to get minutes, and it'll be up to Mike Brown to be able to kind of cycle those dudes in and out to get that kind of buy-in.
Yeah. HP Greg also asks, when are we ever gonna hit a momentum 3? We always do dumb shit up 7 or 8. Yeah, no, the Knicks, they're like, it's been so annoying these last couple games that they have not hit any like huge momentum 3s, like really swing momentum in their favor. It's like they always like brick it, and then the other team comes down and hits like hits a momentum 3 to go in their favor, or they get like a 2 or something like that, or we foul or some shit. So a lot of this like recent Knicks skid has also just been like general luck. That always plays a part in sports, and it's no different here with the Knicks. So hopefully the Knicks get some 3-point luck on their side. They started tonight 6 of 7 from 3, but like they ended the game shooting. Let me see. 17 of 46, which isn't too bad, but I mean, if you start 6 of 7 from 3, you're kind of hoping for, you're gonna have one of those all-time nights where you're hitting like 20 plus or something, but
yeah,
didn't happen for the Knicks tonight. Hopefully the Knicks can continue to. I mean, they still shot pretty good as a team. I mean, if Deuce hits a couple more, if Bridges hits a couple more, if Clarkson hits a couple more, like those 3 guys. Bridges went 2 for 7. Deuce went 2 for 9, and Clarkson went 1 for 6. 1 for 6 in 13 minutes. That's remarkable, by the way.
He was throwing that shit up.
He got fouled on one of them that they didn't call, because of course. If it was Denny though.
You mean the NBA is a Zionist organization that supports the IDF and Israeli occupation of Palestine? Are we surprised? No.
Well, I mean, we were able to overcome, Denny's. What did he have? How many free throws he had tonight?
10.
10 free throws. And I put out a tweet tonight. Take a shot for every free throw he takes tonight.
The only reason why.
If you follow the game, I don't know if you're awake right now, but the only reason why he didn't have more is because he got hurt and had to leave the game.
Dog, I did about water. I'm hydrated as fuck. Like, son, some of the fucking fouls were bullshit too. Like, where the fuck are you even?
Dog, the 2 possessions that he had when Brunson was guarding him, he was simply looking to get a foul. And because of that, he got stripped and he lost the ball, and it resulted in turnovers for him. It's like, just play basketball. Like, I don't get why we're rewarding. And this is not even just a Denny thing. This is like a league-wide thing too. Like, why are we rewarding players for throwing their bodies into defenders and just flailing? Like, why is that just not a no call? Why is that just not like the players just losing the ball and it's a turnover? Like, why are we rewarding them for that? Like, I feel like offenses have gotten so much more leeway year after year after year in terms of what they are able to get called for a foul, and defenses. Like certain teams are playing defense, because we know certain teams have the reputation that they're allowed to do whatever they want, and we saw it in the Phoenix game on Friday. That pissed me off. But certain teams, if they play defense, if they even like breathe on a player the wrong way, it's a foul. So like, I am just like very annoyed at the inconsistency in the NBA and their refereeing. I tweeted yesterday after Jaylen Brown complained about playing against the Spurs, who we played against and got a stupid whistle against as well. I tweeted, I said, I need someone on the Knicks to call out the refs the way Jaylen Brown's doing, because like something needs to change in this league, and I feel like more people that complain, the better. But yeah, certain teams are just allowed to defend you however they want. Spurs, OKC, Houston, Phoenix, a lot of West Coast teams, if you're not seeing the trend already. But a lot of Western Conference teams are allowed to really defend you however they want. I guess it's a good segue into the Phoenix game. A lot of Knicks fans have been calling this Knicks team soft in terms of the way that they play, in comparison to the Phoenix Suns and their physicality that they handled, that they played against with the Knicks with. I will say this: I do think that this Knicks team is not as physical as maybe some fans would probably like it to be. But I also think this Knicks team is not allowed to even be physical as fans want them to be, because I feel like even when the Knicks are playing regular defense, not even physical defense, regular defense, they get called for stupid fouls sometimes that are not even supposed to be fouls, in my opinion. So I don't even think that the Knicks are really even given the benefit of the doubt to even play physical against teams. And I think the Knicks have not matched teams' physicalities per se, and I think today they did a much better job in terms of matching Portland's physicality. But I think teams like Phoenix, you saw the way that they were guarding our guys. They were like full on hand checking, especially like Jordan Goodwin, Grayson Allen. Those guys, they were just like full on like body bumping, and Dylan Brooks was humping Jalen Brunson on certain possessions. Like, Knicks are not allowed to guard people like that. Like, we know this as fans. Like, we watched this team get called for stupid fouls, and you're seeing what Phoenix is doing, and you're really expecting the Knicks to be able to match that. Like, I would love for the Knicks to match that, but I also don't want the Knicks to be called for a foul every possession. So, like, there's also that. So I think there's a discrepancy in the way teams are able to defend and what they're called for. But I also just do think that there is some point to what people have been saying.
Yeah, I just don't buy the whole Knicks are soft narrative thing. Like, I don't think that makes any kind of sense. I just think that people see like physicality as just like being able to show no defensive end. The Knicks are one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the league. They're one of the better defensive rebounding teams in the league.
That requires physicality.
Like, you need to be able to play physical in order to do those things. The entire thing of like Jalen Brunson and OG Anunoby and Josh Hart is like, oh, those guys like go downhill, they're physical, like, you know, like they get into people's chests, people get beat up. Obviously, Mitchell Robinson. Like, is everybody in the team like built like Isaiah Stewart and playing like Isaiah Stewart? Absolutely not. But as a collective, the Knicks are an incredibly strong and resilient team. Like, they were actively having a mutiny against their coach when they went to the ECF. Like, they played the physical Pistons and they beat them in 6, and they won 3 games on the road. They went into Boston and they were down 20 in 2 games apiece. They won both of those games. If they were down 14 in another game, they won that game. They won that series in 6. The Knicks came within a prayer of a 3 going in before they were able to get beat by Indiana in 6. And Indiana, that same team, pushed OKC to 7. And I don't think anybody was like, oh, Indiana's soft. I think people use the term soft just... Well, I know why they're using the term soft, and I know who's applying to, and I'm not going to get into the dynamics of how a lot of people just are homophobic when it comes to Cat, and really when it comes to McHale, too. I mean, come on, McHale. But, like, yeah, this team isn't soft. Like, if this is a whole... that's a narrative. It's silly. Like, the Knicks are just incredibly resilient.
I think fans want this Knicks team to play as physical on the defensive end as we see other teams are able to, like a Pistons team, like an Orlando Magic team, like a Phoenix team.
But the thing is, like, I think where the idea of them being soft comes from the fact that, like, there was this idea that we've been a good defensive team. They've never been a good defensive team. Since Brunson's been here, they've never been a good defensive team. The best of their word was like 10th. And even still, like, that 10th, a lot of that was influenced by the fact that, like, half the team got hurt. But realistically, since Brunson's been here, they haven't been a good defensive team. The only reason why you're not talking about the Knicks being soft before the injuries that happened in 2024 and after is because Jalen Brunson's co-star is not a dark-skinned dude anymore with anger issues. Like, let's keep it a bean here. We don't gotta lie and pretend like, oh, a lot of that doesn't have to do with why the Knicks are considered soft now. But come on, dude. Like, if you look at this team, you go, oh, they're soft. Instead of like, okay, well, like, yeah, the defense isn't that great. But soft is a completely different thing. The Cavaliers are fucking soft. That's a soft team. Like, do you think the Knicks at all resemble that, especially when it comes to playoff basketball? Hell no. At the end of the day, like, the Cavs are, like, mentally weak and soft. And the same issues of physicality in the playoffs have ailed them for 4 years now. That's completely different compared to what the Knicks have been doing. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the way you see this Knicks team dominate teams, or not dominate teams, but like win games in the playoffs has been off the offensive rebounding, and that requires a level of physicality that most teams aren't able to match with the Knicks.
Yeah, I just.
Jordan Bub asks, who is the worst flopper foul baiter, Joel Embiid or Denny Avdia?
Denny Avdia, because he represents a murderistic and terroristic regime that has no business being able to occupy the sacred lands of a sovereign nation, from the river to the sea, free Palestine, and tell Denny Avdia to stop serving its country's military.
Yeah.
At least Joel Embiid, like, look, I don't want Joel Embiid as a basketball player. As a human being, he's fine. Denny Avdia, I don't think. Let me not say that.
Yeah. Save it for the timeline.
Yep.
Jordan Bub says Mike Brown said not closing with Cat was because he thought the groups out there were stringing together stops, rolling. Said he'll do that if it doesn't impact the guy's minutes too much. I don't have a problem with that. I feel like that is the way to properly coach. And it got us the win. So it's not really much to be upset about there with that.
Yep. Let's see.
HB Greg says Yabusele had one good game, and they said, all right, bro, you're done for the year. Yeah, no, I mean, what was his good game again? I don't even remember it.
The Clippers.
Oh, yeah, I guess. I don't even remember that game. I guess we can segue to the Clippers game then. The Clippers game, that was the first game after the Detroit Pistons game, where the Knicks had a what was it? They had a players only meeting, right? I think that's always a fun part of the season. You know, that means things are at their sort of limits in a way. I thought that the way Jalen Brunson approached the beginning of the game was pretty good. He wasn't really dominating the ball to begin the game. Got off the ball pretty early in that game and kind of got other guys going. I believe this is the first game that Deuce started in a while, the Clippers game, and you could see that his presence out there in the starting lineup definitely made more of a difference, and it helped the Knicks as a team. I think if you're going to play Mitch, I think you do the double bigs thing off the bench so you can maximize how much of it you can use throughout the later parts of the game, especially in those fourth quarters. I thought Deuce came out the gate playing really well, hitting 4 threes in that game. So, yeah, no, I thought that game was pretty good. I mean, Karl-Anthony Towns at 20, 11, and 7. OG had 20, and he hit 2 threes, had a really efficient shooting game. Clarkson at 12 off the bench. He looked really good. Yabusele had a good game off the bench. Tyler Kolek looked solid in his minutes. Actually looked really good in his minutes, especially in that beginning of the fourth quarter with Cat in them. That group that they got started in that fourth quarter, I feel like that kind of blew the game open. And the Clippers really weren't making any shots. Shout out to James Harden. 6 of 17 from the field. And shout out to Chris Dunn. 1 of 6 from 3. Love that. Knicks were so happy to leave him open, and he was bricking. So, yeah, no, I thought that was a really good bounce back game for the Knicks. They didn't start off the game all particularly too well, but they ended up finishing the game really well, which is all that matters. He obviously tried to dunk in that game. I remember that part. Oh my god, he tried to violate Zubac. But yeah, no, I thought
And it
also
wasn't even close either. That was the
it
sad
wasn't.
part.
It's so funny how that guy went from like dunking on LeBron to like doing that. It's like
my man
wow.
had no lift, like none.
But yeah, no, I thought this was a really good bounce back game from this Knicks team. You had like 4 out of the 5 starters had 4 more assists. So I thought as a whole, the Knicks team, they had 31 assists. I feel like that was really them starting to get back to that movement and passing and that part of their game coming back and looking much more improved. So yeah, I thought that game was a really good bounce back game. And then of course the Suns game happened. So
yeah, just an up and down week for the Knicks. Just have not been able to find consistency. They win one, they lose one. The Clippers game kind of made up for that Detroit drubbing,
which we will not talk about.
Yeah, no, we're not talking about that.
Because I actually turned off the game after the first like 3 minutes of the second half because I was like, I'm not watching this.
I didn't watch
that. I was like, these guys don't want to be on the court, so I don't want to watch them not be on the court anymore. So I was done.
Yep. So there's nothing to talk about. We did not watch that game. But yeah, I thought up and down week, but ultimately, I think it's just good to see them kind of get some wins on the board because it was rough for a little bit.
Thoughts on the Trae Young trade from Jordan Bubb here, and thoughts on Ja Morant being shopped around the league, and what is the best fit? Saw it coming, by the way. Trae Young trade, Ja Morant being shopped around. LaMelo's next. We've called this since the beginning of the season. This is the end of those 3 guards and their era of wherever they're at right now. Like their time has run short in those areas. Trae Young trade. Wow, salary dump. I mean, I knew his value was in the dirt, but like to be a salary dump is crazy. After being once the franchise star, and of course, he's always labeled the Knicks villain. I hope people finally are able to see that all that Knicks villain shit was like keeping him in Atlanta probably longer than he needed to be. And he wasn't even good against the Knicks. He beat a fucking bad Knicks team in a playoff series. Feels like ages ago now. What was it, like 6 years ago now at this point? Almost 6 years ago?
It's about to be 5.
Like, come on. Like,
close to 6, yeah.
I got so tired of hearing that Trae Young is the Knicks villain and shit. He owns the Knicks because he fucking rolled dice on the court last year. Where you at now, huh? Go roll some dice in DC. But yeah, no, I mean, I think I don't know. Could the Hawks have gotten a better return? I mean,
no.
That was literally going to be their only return because no other team wanted him. Like, none. So,
yeah, okay. My thoughts on the Trae Young trade are as follows. Anybody surprised? Like, the reality is small guard who doesn't really elevate players around him and is not good at the sport compared to his contemporaries, getting salary dumped because nobody wants to pay him a max contract. Pretty expected overall. Did I think that we're not going to get any picks? No, but also I think they kind of just value getting off of money more than paying Trae Young, and I don't blame them. Like, they got everybody paid already. Like, they already paid Jalen Johnson. For better or for worse, they paid Dyson Daniels.
Yes.
So they got everybody. What Okongwu's I'm pretty sure is paid too. So like, yeah, everybody that they want to get paid, they got paid, and they have that Pelicans pick. So you're looking at a situation where they'll probably be pretty set the next couple of years. So I mean, like, it's fine. Like, they're fine. Ultimately, I think it works out for the Wizards because the Wizards don't have anybody to pay. And ultimately, like, hey, like, take a game on an all-star guard, you pay him for like 3 years, and you let him be able to pass the ball to Sarr and to George and to Koulibaly. And potentially, if they get Darren Peterson, the Trae Young doesn't really matter anyway.
Sell tickets and boost your young players' stats up.
Yeah, that's really it. And then Ja Morant being shopped, again, not surprised. Now, if he's going to get traded, I'm not sure because he's been like legitimately bad this season. But I think that's the reality. It's like a lot of small guards do not have the shot making and they don't have the ability to be productive in a way that other most guards can. And in the case of Jalen Brunson, that's why Jalen Brunson's so special. Because at the end of the day, like Jalen Brunson can do the on-ball stuff. He can do the off-ball stuff. He could do the 35 usage guy. He could be the guy who fits in contemporarily and just like can be a catch-and-shoot threat. Trae Young can't do that. Ja Morant can't do that. LaMelo Ball hasn't shown the ability to do that. So, yeah, I'm not surprised about Ja Morant being shopped. I think he'll probably get traded by the deadline. Now, do I think he'll probably get a similar return compared to Trae Young? Absolutely. I don't believe that posturing that's coming out of Memphis for a second, where they're like, "Oh, we want like a young player and like picks." You're not getting that. You're gonna get like shit. Like you might get like Kyle Kuzma and some bullshit, and you'll make it work that way.
The Kings offer is hilarious, by the way.
What is it?
DeMar DeRozan. Let me see if I can pull it up because I saw a tweet about it from Underdog earlier. Where the fuck is it? I had it. I quote tweeted it. I think I quote tweeted it. Unless I did it. But no, I saw Underdog tweet. It was like DeMar DeRozan, I think, Devin Carter, and picks.
Yeah, that's what you're looking at. Also, that would just be a nasty ass team though. Like Ja Morant, Zach LaVine, and fucking the boxes.
All right, here it is from Mark Stein. Kings could change stance on Ja Morant if Grizzlies willing to accept package including DeMar DeRozan, Devin Carter, and draft capital.
Yeah. Yep. That's rough, buddy. That's rough.
Wicked. That's actually wicked. And they said that the Grizzlies are looking to build their team around Jaren Jackson Jr. God bless. God bless the city of Memphis. All right, here, let's see. The D1995B says, let's just leave Yabu Smelly and Dudier in Sacramento, and we kidnap Precious. Keon Ellis will just tag along so Mike Brown can save him.
Please keep Precious Drew away from my team. Do not let the dip fool you. Please. I don't ever want to see Precious Drew.
I think people are being encouraged by his freedom that he has in Sacramento a little bit this year.
Also like he was bad. He was bad last season. He's still bad this season.
He has better looking numbers a little bit because
he's legitimately less efficient than he was last season. And he was bad last season.
The Kings are letting him do whatever. That's part of the reason why.
He is legitimately getting to do whatever he wants to do in the court. That's not good. I'm sorry. I do not ever need to see Precious Achiuwa hoop for my favorite team again. You thought Yabusele was bad? Precious Achiuwa is an affront to basketball. I don't ever want to see that nigga suit up for my team, bro. I don't care if he makes a poverty three and dudes on Twitter Precious Achiuwa made a three. I don't want to see that man hoop for my team ever again, bro. I don't care if he's from the Bronx. I don't care if his family's all deviations on God's will, God's gift, whatever. I'll never I'm sorry, bro. I'm at my limit with Nigerians on this team with OG and Anobi. I don't need it anymore. We're good. There ain't no jollof rice in the world that go convince me that Precious Achiuwa needs to be on this team. Let him hoop in Sacramento. Let him do what he needs to do there. No. I refuse. No. If Preston Chua, if I ever saw the breaking Knicks to acquire Preston Chua, I'll jump ship, bro. Like, I'm not doing this shit anymore. Like, no.
It's that bad, huh?
It's that bad. Like, legitimately. Like, there's a special place in my heart for, like, the hate that I have for Preston Chua. And, like, you thought the RJ shit was like, oh, Tyrese is something like RJ Barrett. No, I deeply, deeply, deeply dislike Preston Chua as a basketball player. There's just some CTE that I can't handle. Like, I can handle Josh Hart CTE because he's largely productive. Preston Chua was, like, a dumbass. And then he's also, like, a dumbass that's trying too hard. And you could tell that, like, even if he tried less and just, like, tried to play smarter, he can't physically do it. And I don't need that. I don't need those kind of hoops, bro. I really don't. I'd rather put up with Mitchell Robinson listening to country music and basically hating his own skin than watch Preston Chua play basketball anymore. And I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this.
Brandon Williams says there have been reports about Tatum wanting to return this season. Do we think the Celtics organization will let him play?
Hell no.
No, as much as we're hearing all these rumblings and whatnot, I think they're a smart organization that knows that him playing this year is not smart, because no matter what, even if he comes back and he looks good, like, the risk of him getting hurt again, like, you're not getting to the finals. Even if you do, you're not beating a team from the West. So, like, especially with the team that they have this year, it's like, yeah, they're doing like a cute little, gap year, they're having a good gap year, whatever it is, but no, it's
like their bigs are still ultimately Keita and Luke
Garza.
Like,
no, it's just not really.
Now, if they were to get a big with Anthony Simons expiring, would that probably be a prelude to Tatum coming back? Probably.
But
I'm not gonna say that he won't come back. I'm just gonna say, like, I don't think the Celtics organization will let him play, but I do think that we're probably be a conversation that he's like, yeah, I'm ready, I don't want to play, and the Celtics organization is probably gonna go, well, shit, like, we kind of don't have a choice because he's the franchise, and he wants to cosplay Kobe, so,
HB Greg says, here, until Dolan makes up with Adam Silver, we're going to get a shitty whistle.
Adam Silver's supposed to be a Knicks fan, allegedly. So,
yo, this is not a threat. This is not a threat. I am saying this. This is not a threat. I have to preface this because, and if this gets anywhere, it's going to be seen as a threat. But this is not a threat. If Adam Silver sees me in the street, he has to walk in the other direction. That's not a threat. That's not a threat, though. It's not a threat. I'm just saying, if he sees me on the New York City streets, because I know he'd be out here, he has to walk the other direction.
You're not even out there.
I work in the city.
You out there more than I am.
I'm there every day. If
he
sees me, he has to walk the other direction. This is not a threat, though. The shit that I've seen since we didn't decide to hang up the banner, bro, has been ridiculous.
It's been nasty.
It's just been ridiculous.
Like, bro,
like,
I'm
you
sorry.
Really beefing with Dolan this bad that you, like, giving us a shit whistle? Like, son. Adam Silver does not want to see me. Mike Brown says that Mitch Robinson was the player of the game. Shout out Mitch Robinson. I mean, his stats were crazy. He had like 6 stocks, I think, tonight.
Yeah, he had like 3 steals, 3 blocks.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. He was everywhere. Jordan Bub also says that the Milwaukee Bucks are showing interest in Ja Morant and Zach LaVine per the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. Sounds very much like a team very desperate to keep one Giannis Antetokounmpo, who claims that he loves Milwaukee and will never leave. So I never want to hear a statement from Giannis about the state of the Bucks again.
Yep.
But yeah, no, this is very telling of a team that's very desperate to keep their franchise star. It's like, oh yeah, Ja Morant, Zach LaVine. athletic guards who don't have as much athleticism as they used to, and don't really provide much of anything, sure, why not? Help us sell tickets in Milwaukee, I guess. And help us to sort of pseudo-convince, psyop convince Giannis that this is going to make us a contender.
Apparently, he doesn't want to leave, so.
Yeah, so I mean, there's not much convincing for them to do.
Yep.
I guess they just have to show that they're dedicated to, some level of aggressiveness on the market. All right, we're gonna probably finish here with this next comment, and we'll talk about the Knicks schedule ahead. I kind of had a disagreement with Medical. I wanted to do more game speed stuff yesterday. They didn't want me to be too sore today. First 2 to 3 up and backs is the worst after it's good. Josh Hart to JLE the third on return after 2.5 weeks. So yeah, of course Josh Hart wanted to get a little bit ramped up sooner, but Medical didn't want him to. I think this Medical team has shown that they are to be trusted and to be just to be trusted with this Knicks team. I mean, the amount of players that we have and have acquired that are injury prone, whether it's OG Anunoby, Mitch Robinson, they've been able to sort of be in pretty good health, especially since Casey Smith's been here. So,
yep.
The Knicks schedule, they play on
Wednesday.
So they have a little bit of a break. They play Wednesday against the Kings in Sacramento. That game, I probably will not watch it because it'll be so fucking late. Then they play on Thursday in Golden State against the Warriors. That's on Prime. Fun times. And then they play on Saturday against the Suns back at MSG. So a chance for the Knicks to get revenge against this Suns team that I think that they should have won. They played them really good in that fourth quarter. Defensively, they held them to you hold a team to 18 points in the fourth quarter. You should win that game. Yeah. But the Knicks just didn't do enough, and they lost. So Saturday will be a chance for revenge. And do they play? They don't play on Sunday. No. Okay, so Saturday probably will be the day that we go live after that game. And yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Shout out to everyone that tuned in. Make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe. Make sure you also check out all the links in the description to everything that we are doing here at the Strickland. Everyone enjoy the rest of your week. Hopefully the Knicks give us a better week this week, and we'll see you on Saturday. Peace.